Ближе к сути задания исповедь чужестранца.
Hello? Please state your name, identity, and the purpose of your visit. You must be... Excuse me? Please provide the information requested and also declare any goods you are carrying. Oh, well, I'm sorry. We can't... My apologies, but I'll have to ask you...
Here are the entry papers for your... What? I just wanted to see what you...
I see. Okay. Your papers are all in order. Welcome to Rito.
The Outlander Affairs Agency, they only check entry permits here. If you want to remain on Rito, there's a process you have to go through with that. Sheesh. Well, let's not forget that to everyday folk in Inazuma, people from everywhere else are referred to as outsiders. As the word suggests, Outlanders aren't very welcome, and not even on Rito, where they've established an outsider settlement. I like how you think. Now, let's head over to the Outlander Affairs Agency. Most of the current rules were put in place by the administration of Rito, the Kanjo Commission.
The Kanjo Commission?
Yes, one branch of the Tri-Commission of Inazuma, responsible for growing and managing the nation's wealth. You really haven't heard of it before?
You've completed the...
Yes, please.
Okay, the processing fee will be...
2 million?
That's right. 1 million per applicant, which...
Paimon wasn't so much questioning...
Ma'am, the...
Ah, Mr. Toma, it's you. Bye.
Thank you ever so much, Miss... But as this is just a processing fee, I think 600 Mora should cover it.
That's not how you haggle!
All right then, as you wish, Mr. Toma.
Much obliged.
What? She went from 2 million down to 600? There's something seriously wrong with people's sense of finance around here!
It's not as mind-boggling as you think. A processing fee is just a figure of speech. The way some here at the agency see it, the fees are easy money, so it becomes a question of how much they can make. So when the day comes that some poor merchant from overseas with more money than sense gets stuck here and needs to apply for residency...
Then they'll milk them for all the...
Exactly. It's at times like this that having a local friend really comes in handy. Yes, but when you're an outlander in Inazuma, far from home in this closed nation era, the most that overseas merchants can do to look after themselves is... That's how the International Trade Association came about.
So it's a trade association built by...
Yep. And as well as advancing commercial interests. Essentially, it's an association devoted to both commercial excellence and survival skills.
Sounds like just staying alive is an achievement when you're...
I see. So this is the... After all, the Raiden Shogun is the most exalted and revered one in all of Inazuma. Huh. I was going to say nothing is set in stone when it comes to who you will encounter in this world.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'll give it to you straight.
Really? Wow!
I mean, it will take all the resources I have at my disposal, but it can be done. Connections come at a high price, you understand?
Not you!
No. In this instance, when I say price, in fact, there's no real cost as such. It's just that I like to do things in a way that keeps...
Sounds very reasonable to Paimon. You're the man in the middle, so you have to trade favors to keep everyone indebted to you.
Why do I get the feeling you're making me out to be some sort of crook? Never mind. Here's the situation. As I touched upon earlier, the members recently, things seem to have gotten more difficult. The head of the association is called Kurisu, and he's a good friend of mine. Go talk to him. I'll wait for you here.
hello there. You must be seeking refuge with the inner. Ah, good. That's.
We heard the association is.
Yes. Left, right, and center. Obstacles at every turn. But that's nothing new for us.
The Sakoku Decree certainly.
But it's not the root cause of our woes. The Sakoku Decree might restrict our scope of activity. No. What's really squeezing us out, those Mora grubbers from the Kanjo Commission.
Oh, of the 3 commissions.
That's right. They impose astronaut. They just issued a new tax decree recently that, for some reason,
Crystal Marrow.
something that most of us in the Eventually, one of the older Liyue merchants recalled. So, in order to pay our taxes, we began an art. But then we found we'd only managed to create a bigger problem for ourselves. Now there's only one vendor who even has it in.
Is it?
Exactly. So this vendor keeps pushing the price up, and we have no. It's a vicious cycle. The consequence of which is that. We've tried but this is a nation where the cries of a few struggling merchants will never be heard over the ever-present roar of thunder. Fontaine, my dear homeland. I miss you an awful lot at the moment.
Sounds awful. What do you think we should do? But Carice is the head of the association.
Right. And besides...
Okay. Well, we could...
that vendor. I've actually done business with him in the past, but after a point he's...
Well, definitely...
Hey, that's a pretty good idea. If I remember correctly, our usual meeting...
Got it! We're on?
Искать будем в следующей серии. Подписка, лайк, коммент, соцсети в описании.